What's going on, guys? My name is Maddox, and today we're going to talk about optimizing your party in Genshin Impact. Now, why do you want to optimize your party? What's so important about that? You might be steamrolling the game early on, but optimizing your party will help you get to later stages of the game, clear harder content, go farther in the spiral abyss. Overall, it's going to make things a lot nicer and a lot easier for you. And you also need to optimize your party because you have limited resources throughout the game. Weapon upgrade materials, talent upgrade materials, even just general XP tickets to level up your characters. You don't have infinite amounts of these things. So first things first, we want to talk about elemental resonance. This is important because the elements here that you choose will benefit your party and allow you to have bonus effects that affect your entire party. And there's three main ones I want to talk about. The first one, Fervent Flames, increases your attack by 25% when you have two pyro elemented characters. That's just 25% free damage. That's fantastic. The next we have is if you have two ice elementals. Increase crit rate against enemies that are frozen or affected by cryo by 15%. 15% chance to crit just by existing? Fantastic. The other one, which is not as useful, but does have its place based on your party makeup, is Enduring Rock. When protected by a shield, it increases your attack damage by 15%. What's your party structure? First of all, you need your main DPS, the guy that's going to do all the damage for you. You're going to put all of your resources into him that he's going to carry. Now, I got lucky enough to get Diluc myself, but let's say you didn't, and we're going to go with Chungyun. Now, the next character you want is a support class. I believe a class that should heal. You should have a healer in every single party. So you have Barbara or Noelle to choose from. I prefer Barbara because Barbara can heal from range, and generally if you need to heal your party, you don't want to be up close and personal. However, Noelle can work as a sufficient healer if you do not have Barbara yet, because she does have a good amount of healing capabilities and a lot of defense. But we're going to go with Barbara here. Now, moving into our Elemental Resonance. Your Elemental Resonance can either be, if it works with your support, great. But your Burst or your Enabler, either one you want your Elemental Resonance to work with. Now, I'm going to pick Kanye as my Burst. Obviously, Ice Elemented, which will give us the Elemental Resonance for crit rating. Now, why do I call him the Burst of my party? Basically, all this character does, he doesn't stay on the field, he doesn't attack, he doesn't do anything but use his Elemental Burst. Because it has a persistent cryo damage aura around him, it's very beneficial to my main party, my main damage dealer, Chungyun. Every character you want to add to your party is benefiting your main character. Next, we're going to go to the Enabler. What the Enabler does is it essentially drops its elemental skill, and then you swap it out back to your main DPS, or you swap over to activate your burst, and then to your main DPS, stuff like that. I like to use, as many people do, Fischl. She drops Oz, her little bird, and it just sits there and just does a lot of damage, adds a lightning element into the effect, and is pretty damn good. So Fischl as your elemental enabler is fantastic. So now you have your party. DPS, support, burst, enabler. What do you do with these characters? Let's talk resource allocation. If it doesn't make sense already, all of your resources should be going into your main character, into your main party member, your main DPS. So what does that mean? That means its weapon should be maxed out. His level should be maxed out as much as possible. His artifacts should be maxed out as much as possible. He is going to do the most for your party that he can, and then you should move over to level your enabler. Your enabler will probably do the second most damage of your party because generally the skill that they put out, either it be Fischl or maybe you can use Xiangling, but their little buddy is going to come out and do a significant amount of damage and add a lot to your party. So I would just put resources after your main DPS into your enabler. The next one is a bit iffy. You can either put resource allocation into your burst to increase your damage, or you can put it into your support to increase your sustain. Depending on what kind of content you're looking to push into, they're kind of equal on where you want to put resource into. I prefer more damage, so I like to put more resources into my burst over my support. But if you're struggling with healing and you need a bit more help, it's totally fine to put some resources into your support. Let's talk artifacts. In terms of artifacts, you want just all the attack you can get. All the attack you can get, especially early on. Don't worry about set bonuses. First things first, you want to max your plume. Why do you want to max your plume first? Because it gives you base attack value, which the attack percent bonus from your other artifacts will rely heavily upon. If my plume was not maxed out, it would have 42 attack, not 232. Let's say between my 3 artifacts, I had 100% bonus damage, right? I would have 42 extra bonus damage, but instead I would have 232 bonus damage. Pretty simple, pretty obvious. Now for your helmet, for your chalice, and for your timepiece, these 3, you want to have bonus attack. It doesn't matter what the secondary effects are. If it's blue, that's okay, but you want to have bonus attack on all of these and max them out as much as possible. Pretty obvious, it'll let you do as much damage as possible. Your flower can be kind of whatever. Like I said, don't worry about set bonuses, but if you have a flower, let's say it gives you a 4-piece set, or maybe it can pop up a 2-piece set, throw it on there, get you a little extra damage, but your flower you shouldn't really worry that much about as a main DPS. Now moving on to your supports artifacts. I would recommend using the healing set. You get this a bit later on when you get your adventure book. In chapter 7, you get the Maiden Beloved set just from doing the handbook, and it increases your healing effectiveness and increases the healing received by party members. Pretty straightforward. Your character's built for healing. Let it do more healing, right? Now, let's go into your burst character. Your burst character, I like using the Exile 2 set. You increases the amount of energy you get. That amount of energy leads straight into how many bursts you can do. So, obviously, more bursts your burst character can do, the more beneficial it is. After you have your Exile 2 set, you don't have to run that. But, once again, because this character is helping you do more damage, the first thing you want to level up on a character like this is the plume. You want this attack to be as high as possible because all of their abilities are affected by it. Now, moving on to the enabler. Now, this set is something you probably won't get early on, this Thundering Fury set, which increases the electro damage, which is the skill bonus. So it's just helping the skill. You just want to have abilities or artifacts that help your skill damage. But early on, let's say you don't have the healing set for your healer, or you don't have any good sets at all. When you go to your sets, I would recommend running with the instructor set. You can run this set for either your healer or your enabler early on, just because it benefits the whole party. Now, if you have this set on both your healer and your enabler, these effects, this 4 set increases elemental mastery by 120 after using an elemental skill. This does not stack. So only one of this effect will be available at a time, so you cannot stack this effect. So having early game your support having these instructor set, or even your enabler having this instructor set, will be very beneficial. Once again, with your enabler, you want to max your plume for as much attack bonus as you can get, because obviously it's providing a lot of damage to your elemental skill. As far as other artifacts, there are more late game artifacts that I don't even have access to yet. I'm currently adventure rank 33, but when I get to 35 and 36, I have the availability of more impactful artifacts where I can actually start selective builds, which I can do, or which I will do in a later video. But that's about it for this video. I will make more in regards to how you can build parties around your character, but working with the structure of main DPS, support, burst, and enabler, then using your resources for main DPS first, then your enabler, then your burst or support, will take you very far in the game, especially early on. But anyway, I wanted to thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye.